Hey, what's up guys? This is Dean from the studio department of the Sachem Public Library, and I'm going to give you guys a tutorial on how to record on Adobe Audition. So let's get to it. So first you just want to go on Adobe Audition, and first you want to start with new. So you could work with either audio file, which will give you the waveform, or will give you multitrack. So let's start with waveform first. So we'll just call this waveform tutorial. And the sample rate you want to keep at 48,000. You could go up. Sometimes you go up if you're using this audio for video, but usually you stay for 48,000 if it's just normal audio. And the stereo, you could, if it's a voiceover, you could put it for mono, but if you're using music or you're using jingles or anything else, you want to keep stereo, and you could use stereo for voiceover as well. For the bit depth, you want to keep that at 32. You just press OK. So now you get a little playback bar down here. So this is play. You could use space to play. This is to move previous. You could use rewind, fast forward, and this is to skip ahead. This is also to record once you start recording. And then this is to loop playback. So let's do a little test and let's record. Right before we record, I just want to go through the audio hardware, which is very important because sometimes some of the hardware used don't show up. So for me, I'm using a USB mic right here, this microphone Blue Snowball, and my output is the speakers. Now if you have an input of, it's either a microphone, USB microphone, which is mine, that should definitely show up and you should click that, or you might have an already built-in microphone on your laptop, and you could just click that. My biggest recommendation, or my best recommendation, is to use a audio interface, but if you can't use that, which because it's pretty pricey, just use the input that's already there, which is USB, or your built-in microphone for your laptop. Now these should be speakers, and the master clock should also be the speakers, and everything should be good. This is a test 1 2. This is a tutorial test 1 2. So you could press stop to end that, and you could also press you could press space to end that, and you could also press space to play it again. This is a test 1 2. This is a tutorial test 1 2. So as you can see, this is all highlighted. You just click this to unhighlight it, and if you want, you could highlight one section, or you could click in the middle and click everything, and then it highlights everything. So let's just click everything for now, and right here is your dBs. So you can move this up if you want it, and to go back, you could press Control Z or Command Z if you're using Windows or Mac, and it'll go right back. So let's just do a little portion. Let's highlight. So we want to highlight this portion, and this is how to zoom in. You could also use the scrolling part of your mouse as well, but right here is the easiest way, and you get that little magnifying glass, and you could also do this if you want just this part of it, but we'll leave it right here. So since we're doing this part, we could also do loop playback, so it only plays this one section. 1 2 1 2, and that's the playback right there. 1 2 1 2 1 2. So that you could see right there just gives you the playback and loops it that one section. So if you want to delete this, you didn't like how it sounded, you could delete it. But if you want it back, Control or Command Z, and it brings it right back. So that's it for the waveform. Let's go check out the multitrack. So now you got to make a new session for multitrack. And again, let's call this multitrack tutorial. Now you want the folder location, make sure you just keep everything organized, put it in a spot you could find. Template, leave that as none. Again, 48,000, leave that. 32 bit depth, and then master, you could leave it as stereo as well. Press OK. Now, for this is key, because I usually work in the multi-track version more, because there's a lot of times I'll drag in audio and I use that a lot, and you're able to do it because you have so many different tracks right here. So starting off, we'll do a little demo right here, and I'll just do a little testing. And as you can see over here, you get your levels, and as I go more into the mic and as I back more away, you could see it going lower and you could see it raising up. So we'll do a quick test. 1, 2, this is a test for multitrack. 1, 2, this is a test. So let's hear that. 1, 2, this is a test for multitrack. 1, 2, this is a test. So as you can see there, we have basically the whole test that we just showed. And right here is key, because you could lower this if you want it really on the dot right when I start, or if you want a little time, a little space right there, you could do that and have that. And you could do that on either side. And these two right here, I'll zoom in a little. You could zoom in from right here, or you could zoom in from over here, down here. So these two are key as well, because you could fade in. I usually always fade in and fade out. It just sounds so much more cleaner, so much more professional. 1, 2, this is a test for multitrack. 1, 2, this is a test. So it's a little faint because, you know, it's a voiceover and it's not really music and you can't tell as much, but it's definitely useful, especially when you have music. So you could also, this helps for organization, and as you can see right here, every color is different. So this is green, this is purple, so it's great for organization. I'll just label this voiceover. And then, as you can see, right here is you need to press this for record. To solo, if you just want to hear this one, and if you have other tracks, you could solo that one out. And then you can mute it completely if you just want to focus on other tracks. So these other tracks, you could change the name as well if we wanted to. And these right here, you always want to make sure that this is on master and this is on the default stereo. You could also change the volume from over here, and the playback settings are exactly the same as waveform. If you want to loop, if you want to highlight this and fast forward, you could fast forward. If you want to rewind, you could rewind. And that's pretty much it for the waveform in the multi-track and the waveform. So as we did waveform before, as I was saying before, this is great where you could really just drag and put in others. And as you could see, the colors I was talking about before, this is a different color, and if I put it over here, it's another different color. So it's great if you have other people or other music in the session. So as you can see, it's two different. 1, 2, this is a test for multitrack. Now it would overlap. Now if I want to just mute this, the test for multitrack. 1, 2, this. That's what I could do. And again, once you click on it, you could fade in, fade out, and over here you could decrease or increase like that. So that's pretty much it for the first lesson. I'll just teach you how to export, and that's a wrap. So as you go here, you want to press File, you want to go on Export, you want to go to Multitrack Mixdown, and then you want to click the entire session, and then I'll save it as Multitrack Tutorial Mixdown. I know where my location is. Depending on whatever file you want, we'll just do MP3 for now, since that's usually the one that or Wave I use the most. Wave is a little bit better, but it takes more time, and then everything else stays the same, and you press OK, and wherever you save that file, it should stay. Thank you guys.